So I am in the midst of a big transition, and I've had my dreams for years and years and years.
Now, before you go further, someone who's in the midst of a big transition, we want to just soften that by saying everyone who's focused in their physical body and still living what the doctors call being alive is in the midst of a transition. Yes. Because all day, every day, you are sifting and launching rockets and coming into vibrational alignment with those rockets or not. So if someone says and really means, I'm in the midst of a big transition, what they mean is, I haven't been keeping up with the vibrational transitions that have been taking place on a daily basis. In other words, when life causes you to expand and you follow your bliss or you reach for good feeling thoughts, you're up to speed. Life causes you to expand, you are up to speed. So big transition from the way we teach vibration sounds like someone who has not been keeping up. Is that what you mean?
In some ways. And actually, that's exactly what I want to talk about. So I have had my dream of opening my own yoga studio. Let's say that's one aspect of the dream. And there are other pieces and things that I like to write, and I also want to be leading retreats and things.
Well, by dream, do you mean unfinished business?
It's my vision to create and open my own studio.
But what we're asking, the way you were using my dream, we hear a lot of people talk about my dream. And what they almost always mean, and you did just now, is the unfinished business.
Right.
And so we just want to point out that it's unfinished in terms of manifestation.
Yes.
But it's your dream in terms of your vortex. And when you're in the vortex, it's not something that's unfinished, it's something that's happening. Can you feel the difference? This was a really big distinction because a lot of people are talking about my dream of retirement, my dream of making a lot of money, my dream house, and what the words always smack of is, I don't have it now. It's my dream. It's still to come. And that's what trips you up, because it's not still to come. It's real time. It's vibrationally active and alive. It's vibrationally assembling all cooperative components, and it is alive and well and real time, present tense in the vortex. But when you speak of it as the way you do, you've got yourself separated from where it is, and so it's something still to come. Right. Really good distinction to make, don't you think?
Yeah, sure.
So tell us, do you want to talk about your dream from outside the vortex, in which case we will climb your tree? Or do you want us to talk about it from inside the vortex, where it feeds you as you dream it? In other words, dreams are supposed to feel good. When you're dreaming, you're in alignment with who you are and what you're wanting, and the manifestation is momentarily irrelevant because you're in the vibration of it and taking the pleasure from it. And when it manifests, it's going to be old news anyway. The dreaming, the resonating, the being up to speed with it, that's where life is at, you see. You're always launching the rocket and then dreaming yourself into alignment, and then it manifests in its old news. But you've launched other rockets and you're dreaming yourself into alignment, and then it manifests in its old news.
Right.
You don't like the old news part, do you? Because but the reason the old news part is important to understand is because there's always another dream that is the real deal. It's the dream, it's the dreaming, it's the reaching for, it's the inspiration, it's the resonating with source, it's the translating it from the vibration into the physical equivalent that is the molding of the clay. How often do you see, it happens, but really, how often do you see the artist who has created the magnificent sculpture just standing there decade after decade? And people say, I hear you are a wonderful sculptor. And they say, yep. What are you working on now? That's it for me. I dreamed it, and my dream became a reality.
So what I wanted to talk...
I just stand here waiting for other people to come by and look at what I did. I get all of my satisfaction now from others liking it. It's empty, isn't it?
Very.
That we're not trying to crush your dreams. Well, yeah, we are. We're wanting you to feel the distinction between manifestation and the dream, and we want to orient you into the life-giving qualities of the dream. We want you to dream in the way you intended to dream. And when you used the word just now, it didn't have any life in it because it hasn't manifested, and you are misunderstanding what the dream is about, you see. A bit.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was the process of getting into the vortex. So that for me, what's been,
but what's been holding you up is you want the dream to come alive so that you can look at it and then go in the vortex. That's what most people want. They want the dream to come alive. They want it to manifest, and then I will behold it, and then I will go into the vortex. And we're wanting you to understand that's backwards. You've got to revel in the idea long before it manifests, and reap the benefit of the imagination and the cooperation of your mind with the dream. That's the true molding. It's the idea of it, and it's the coming to believe it, and it's the coming to expect it, and that it's the taking pleasure from the idea of it, and then it will manifest. But then you'll be on to another and another and another and another and another. That's why can you feel how this all fits together in terms of minding the gap? When you sat down, you said, I want to talk about something personal before I get into it was almost a word like issue. What was on your mind when you first sat down? We've distracted you from it now, but what was it?
Well, I wanted to look at the whole dynamics of the process for me in having my vision and knowing what I want to create and being in a space where I'm working for somebody else. But
use the word vision again. What do you mean by having your vision? Flesh that out for us.
Well, I know exactly what I want to create and what I want to be experiencing and living with my business, with my yoga studio that I open up that will be mine, and with all the other facets of.
All right, so I know exactly how I want it to look and be.
Yes.
But what we are wanting to softly suggest to you is that while you think that you know what you want it to be, when you say the word which causes you to focus upon it, it feels like you're not a vibrational match to it, like it's still something in the future yet to come about. And that's the thing. It's not just you, almost everybody does this.
Right.
That's the thing that we want you to feel, because it feels like future tense. I know what I want it to be, not I know what it is. Because it feels future to you, which means it feels absent in terms of manifestation, and that's what's dominating your vibration.
Yes.
And we want to show you how to make it's future in terms of manifestation, but so much is. But it's present in terms of my dream, my vision, my life flow, my ideas, my spunk, my vitality, my reason to get out of bed, my feeling of life, my thing to focus upon, my gift, my love, my joy, my fun, my fullness. You feel the difference?
Yes.
In other words, we want this vision to be alive and real. We want this dream. And that's why we talk of the vortex. The vortex is real. The vortex isn't some imaginary place that we're trying to like holding up a shiny toy so that you don't cry like you did when you were 2. Vortex over here, vortex over here. It's not, that's not the enticement. This vortex is the vibrational equivalent of all that you want. Talk about a dream. Talk about a dream already coming to shape. Talk about something that is real and life-giving and calling you, you see. We want you to dream your dream in a way that you feel it. We want you to say the word my dream and my vision, and we want you to light up when you even point your mind in that direction because of the vividness and the realness and the wholeness and the certainty of it, you see. Certainty of it now, not later. It is. It is. Now, some really good news for you is if it were not vivid and if it were not real and if it were not ready and if it were not calling you, you would not feel the discord when you don't go there. And that's what you were feeling that you wanted to talk about when you sit down.
Exactly. Like when I quit my job here because, all right, I'm not a match here and this is where I want to be. I'm creating this is, I need, and obviously all my time, my energy is spent here. I don't want to be stuck here anymore.
But wait, you see, that's not even true. We know you think it is, but here's why it isn't. Because you could be going through the motions of who cares what manifestation. It's old news anyway. Your job, the way you get your money. In other words, just keep playing the game. But dream about what's here. In other words, you don't have so many people who want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be self-employed. They want to follow their creative endeavor. They don't want to punch the time clock. They don't want to work 9 to 5 anymore or 8 to whatever. They don't want to do that. And so they convince themselves that they can't do their vortex work because they've got to tend to the manifestation stuff that's already lined up. And we say, that just doesn't make any sense at all. You're walking down the street, you can dream about your dream. You're talking to your friends, you can talk about your dream. You're on your break, in other words, you have plenty of time even while you're going through the motions of much that you are doing. You could be on your way to your dream occupation and what you're doing right now in terms of action is just a path along the way and therefore something that is very beneficial. So many people quit their jobs so that they can write their great American novel and never get to it because they were gathering up resistance while they were at work and they quit their job, but they're still in a big wad of resistance. Mm. You can't begin flowing toward what you want. You can't, it's not going to work. And a lot of people think it will. Well, I'm employed. Now I will quit my job and now suddenly I'll be up to speed with my dream. It doesn't work that way because you've been employed and pushing against and employed and pushing against and employed and pushing against and employed and pushing against. And now you're unemployed and pushing against. In other words, you're not up to speed. It's much better to dream while you're doing that and dream while you're doing that and dream while you're employed and dream while you're employed. You have plenty of time. Esther sings the song every day from the old song, I work 8 hours, I sleep 8 hours, that leaves 8 hours for fun. And she has her modifications on it depending on what day it is. I drive 12 hours. I sleep 2 hours. That leaves no time for fun. She plays the game with it in whatever way she wants. But we want to point out to you that you could all day, every day be in the vortex, dreaming your dream, regardless of what you're doing with your time. Because the leverage that you're gathering is vibrational leverage. It's not action leverage. That was good.
Yes, it was good.
But we see how sometimes what you're doing to earn your living can be overwhelming, and it feels like it just takes all your time. It feels like you just got to be there, and especially when you'd rather be somewhere else, so it seems like you've got to be there. We understand that you have responsibilities with your families and with your earning of money that sometimes makes you feel overwhelmed, but we want to point out it's the overwhelmment and therefore the out of the vortexness that is stifling the creative flow, not the activity. And as you spend more time in the vortex, you begin to understand. You begin to realize that there's all kinds of momentum that can be gathered from wherever you are. You don't just stop doing what you don't like in order to dream your dream. You just got to dream your dream instead of focusing upon what you don't like. Suddenly you'll be happy at work and they'll say, "Oh, why are you so happy at work?" And you say, "What's not to be happy about? I have control of my thoughts. I have control of my relationship with Source. I have control of the flow. I have control of everything. I have control because I have vibrational acuity. I am aware of what I'm doing with my vibration. I can feel it. I'm emotionally alive and I care about how I feel. And I'm not going about it in the backwards manner that I used to go about it and that most everybody does, where I need the condition to change so that I can have a better feeling response to it. I dream my response and I ignore the condition. And I've done it so much that the condition has to adhere to my response. Follow?
Yes.